Okay, let's get started. So Portrait Studio and my masterclass are both on sale at almost 50% off. So the normal price of my masterclass is $90. Portrait Studio and my masterclass are both on sale. More masterclass content is coming up. And that's it really for announcements. To get into the Sketchtober community, to get into the Sketchtober challenge, please join us by going to the community tab here. This will take you to my Discord. My Discord is where we just finished Sketchtober. Let me give you a quick preview of what will happen, what you'll see in the upcoming video that features all of the Sketchtober sketches. And they are just absolutely beautiful, absolutely phenomenal. This was the final day of Sketchtober before Sketchtober started, and right now Sketchtober is running, and the daily prompts are pinned at the top right here. So what I wanted to take a look at today is a 14-day challenger. I haven't done one of those. I usually do those every couple months. I'll focus on them because they're a constant challenge that's open to anyone who joins us on the community. So again, go to istebrak.com and click on the community tab. If you scroll all the way down, there's an FAQ and Q&A on what the 14-day challenge is. Even my masterclass is dedicated to the 14-day challenge. The 14-day challenge is a challenge that lasts for 14 installments. It's not really 14 days in a row. If you want to do 14 days in a row, that's great, but you don't have to. Some people finish it over 3-4 months. Some people took a year. One student of mine took like a year or more. It's just about being able, it's about two big things that factor into why it's a successful challenge, why everybody improves doing it, why it's successful the way it is. It's because of two requirements. The first requirement is that you start each portrait of the 14 installments, you start them from scratch. You don't reuse the previous drawing and keep working off of it. You don't use references. Everything is started from scratch. At least for the first 10 days or majority of the days, you are doing no reference. It's all from your head. This means that we're always taking a look at the cutting edge knowledge that you have of portraits, that we're x-raying what you have in there. What are you hiding in there in your mind? It's visible in the 14-day challenge. Another reason it's successful is because you have to have critique. Like, what are you going to do for day 2 if you don't even know what you did wrong for day 1? Do you know what I'm saying? So critique is fundamental. It's paramount to improvement. You can't get better unless people tell you what the mistakes you made are so that you could be more aware of them moving forward. Other reasons it's successful is because it factors out all the decorative stuff, like no hair. That's why there's just a bunch of bald people in my community, bald drawings in my community. It's just no hair, no color, no expression. We are looking at what your core skill is at the base level. What can you do? And then when we remedy that and supplement that knowledge, that's why people improve so much with the 14-day challenge, because it stripped you of all your fineries and you're just standing there butt naked in front of the judge, which is me and everybody else, and you are just completely, it's the judgment day of your art, and it's what makes you improve the most. So what did you do wrong with this one? There's a lot of things you did wrong. So if this was a cartoon sketch and they had these features, we wouldn't bat an eye. We'd be just, okay, this looks normal, right? But because you rendered it, it no longer looks normal. So let's give that a test. When you render cartoon, let's say anatomy, and you render it well because you know what goes into blocking, blending, the fat pockets of the face, etc., what you end up with is uncanny valley stuff. What is the problem? That you added rendering to features that had absolutely just this very strange, inhuman, slightly offset from human. It's in the general direction of human, but it's not human. And that is called uncanny valley, where things are super realistic in one way, but extremely unrealistic in another way, to the point where you're in the negatives. So as a sketch, fabulous sketch. It's just great. So what we have to do is disable all of these things. Okay, so the fixes for this are pretty damn quick. We just have to get rid of what it is that's causing this style to look like a style. So the head length is enormous. So the eyes look funny because what's happened is that it's okay to shrink eyes this way, right? It's okay to squint eyes. That's what eyes do, they squint. But eyes don't squint this way. Okay, so you actually pinch the eyes lengthwise. So again, what do the slits of the eyes look like? So you got an eyeball, you got some bone structure hiding the majority of the eyeball. You got some eyeball sticking out of the bone structure. And then you have, so this is like the skull. This is the whole of the skull. Looks kind of weird. And then you've got the eyelids. So I'll color code that. Okay, and the eyelids are held together tightly by two ends, by two corners. One on the outside, one on the inside. And you got a little bit of jumbled up flesh there. Got a waterline. Where do the eyes move? This is static. It does not move. This isn't. This actually does move up and down. So the only thing that you should worry about when drawing eyes is to not make your eye itself circular. If the eye shape is circular and then you add some creases at the top and bottom, you're going to end up drawing weird, uncanny, overly circular eyes. It's the eyeball that's circular, not the final eye shape. Okay, write that down. So yes, we want circular indication. What does circular indication look like then at the end if we're not showing an eyeball? It's this perfect crest right here. It's the fact that they both climb at the high peak at the same symmetry line. So it's not like one eyelid is this way and one eyelid is that way, right? That wouldn't make sense if it was circular, unless the ball itself was messed up. But when you have a perfectly circular shape and then you put stuff on it, they show that perfectly circular crest on either side. It's the fact that we can see the edges of the eyeball, literally see them right here along where the pinks are of the inner and outer corner. So that's the problem with your eyes right now, is they make no sense at all. So we want to fix those next. So I widen the nose. And now I'm going to fix up what you did here with the rest of the face. So as a sketch, this will also look good. So I'm not sure why you added the same shadow on the temple. The temple isn't as deep as the eye socket. So why does it need to look like that, right? That doesn't make any sense. So sometimes my critiques for 14-day challenge are public executions. And I make that joke not because I like to rip on other artists or treat them badly or anything. That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing it really for your benefit. Once you get a hard critique like this, these really mean ones, and by mean, I'm being very liberal with the term. I don't think I've ever been mean in a class. One time I couldn't stop cackling at the before and after, but I admit to that one and I apologize while cackling. I'm not going to share which video that was. But I don't think I've ever been mean, but I am kind of ruthless in that I make sure that anything you might be hiding ego-wise, anything you might be hiding fear-wise is just brought out into the open. Because I believe in that throw the kid in the water and they'll learn how to swim type thing. Not that I'm throwing any kids in water or anything like that. I'm opening up Portrait Studio so that we could take a look at what shadows are missing and why. So this is the basic female front view, but it doesn't really matter because it's all about the shadows. So you had a shadow just around here, and it was really diffused around the nose. But this in this Portrait Studio model, obviously the shadows haven't been adjusted to be brighter than the face. You can adjust them in Portrait Studio to be brighter, but this is just the default. I just opened it really quickly because I don't have time with enhanced lighting to go in there and adjust it, but you can. So take a look at how the size of her nose from side view. Right? Her nose isn't that big. And the size of his nose is actually really, really big. It's for his face. It sticks out, catches a lot of light at the top. So if this is what her nose is doing at this size, I believe that your nose, that cast shadow should hit the lip area easily. And then where you were with the shadows before I fixed the face, your shadows on the eyes were somewhere down here. Look at where her nose shadow is if we did the same shadow you did before I fixed it. Maybe that was you doing dark circles around the eyes. I'm not sure, but it was pretty dark. I had to relieve a lot of shadow. Now, look at what the shadow of the temple is. Pretty dark, right? But that's only if the light is coming at an angle. At no angle from the very top, from here or here, is the temple as dark as the eyebrows. Another mistake you made. Okay, so we're scanning through everything. The cheekbones are okay. I wouldn't say they're as dark as they could be. They need to be as dark as yours, but he has kind of a sunken in cheekbone. And then now take a look at the ears. There's no reason at all for the ears to be in front of the skull. The only time they're in front of the skull, so see ear, skull. The only time they're in front of the skull, so again, ear and then skull. It's right in front of it. The only time that happens is in an angle like this one. So before, after. All right. So before, we see excessive shadow used around the eyes. The structure, obviously the head was very long. Saruh. And then the ears were in front of the edges of the head. Not acceptable. So thank you everyone for joining today. I really appreciate you guys coming out to the live streams. To join us on Sketchtober. So there's a prompt today for all of October. Please go to the community tab here and click on this to get into my Discord. My Discord is public and open to all now. Please don't confuse it with the apprenticeship Discord. That's a private Discord. It's for $20 patrons, and those patrons get homework through that Discord. So it's kind of a class. They just finished their figure drawing session, and now they are and now they are doing some environment pieces, atmospheric Halloweeny environment pieces. We're going to look at depth. We're going to look at composition, framing, and storytelling, and that's going to be really fun. I cannot wait for that. And on my store, so today you saw me using Portrait Studio. You can control the camera, the lighting, and the model. You have a posable figure. You have all kinds of, and all variety of simple and detailed models. But the most valuable thing about it is the fact, I mean, that's all amazing, but my favorite thing about it is the posable female mannequin. You can pose her however you want, male and female, and it's just amazing. But if you did want something a little bit more realistic, we have all kinds of models in here that you could load in that have arms and legs and certain things and different detail levels that that may be useful to you. There's even fabric that you could, I mean, it's not fabric, but it's a low poly model that shows you basically where shadows would go. It helps you understand folds. It helps you build all kinds of models using the simple shapes like cylinders and spheres. You can build all kinds of stuff. There's a whole video tutorial on it on the store. If you click on istebrak.com/store, and it's on sale, and it's really low. And if you are having issues learning how to apply logic from beginning to end, from basic shape to rendered portrait, my masterclass is also on sale at the moment. And this is only 2 weeks. It's done on the 14th of October, and that's it until December, when I have my next and final sale of the year. So I only really have 2 big sales. But yeah, if you click on the Portrait Studio product right here, it'll take you to the tutorial on how to use Portrait Studio if you want to make the most out of it. If you are having issues installing it, some people's firewalls don't allow it to be installed successfully, please email abouthar@live.com and he'll help you with it. A lot of people have no issues at all installing it. Some people do. It's just different between each person. So please make sure you let us know if you are having issues installing it or anything like that. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate you guys coming to the live streams. The next class, hopefully, is Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I'll see you guys around, and I may do some streams soon. Might be back into after hours. I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable with my art, and may continue split streaming between Twitch and YouTube. So I don't really need to pick one or the other anymore, thank God. All right, I'll see you guys around. Bye.